Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about the solar energy and how much percentage of sunlight energy can be harvested to generate the electricity. That also we have discussed for one mark question. Solar energy devices we have discussed, and at last we have discussed about the advantages of solar energy. Now, in the next part, we are going to discuss about the biogas. Biogas, it is a combination of two words, bio and gas. Bio related to living organisms. So which part of the living organism is used to generate the electricity or to produce the gas? So it is the plant and animal waste materials to be used to get the gas. That's why the term is used called biogas. So what are the contents in this biogas? Biogas is the mixture of different gases. Main component will be the methane, one mark question, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen. It is produced from these waste materials, plant and animal waste materials, the biogas will be generated. It is produced by decomposition of animal wastes and plant wastes in the absence of oxygen. That means anaerobic decomposition of plant and animal wastes take place to produce the biogas. It is also commercially called as gobar gas, since the starting material used is cow dung, which means gobar in Hindi. Now, what are the uses of this biogas? 2 marks question. It is used for fuel. It is used as fuel for cooking. Number 2, it is used to run motors and pump sets. And third one, it is used to generate the electricity. Now, next part, what are the advantages? Why should we go for using the biogas? There are so many advantages. 4 marks question. It burns without smoke, therefore causes less pollution. So it is pollution free. Number 2, an excellent way, it is the best way to get rid of means to reduce of organic waste materials like bio wastes and sewage material. That's the second, so that pollutant level in the environment can be reduced by this method. It's an excellent method. Number 3, leftover slurry or the whatever after generating biogas from the cow dung, whatever waste materials will be left, that can be used as nutrient or organic wastes, nutrient for the growth of the plants. In the agricultural field, that leftover waste, which is called the slurry, 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 is a good manure, rich nitrogen and phosphorus, can be used as nutrient supplement to the agricultural field. 4th point, it is safe and convenient, very easy to use. And last point, it can reduce the amount of greenhouse gases emitted. Greenhouse gases emission also can be reduced. So there are 5 points that there may come for 4 marks question. Now next topic we are going to discuss about the shale gas. Shale refers to, we have to define it, refers to the soft, finely stratified sedimentary rock that is formed from the compaction of small old rocks containing mud and minerals. What minerals? Quartz and calcite, calcium containing sand and calcium. So shale is nothing but it is produced by the stratification. Stratification, layer after layer, the sedimentary rocks will be deposited and it will form by pressure. Compaction means pressure of small old rocks containing certain minerals such as quartz and calcium containing substances. Trapped beneath the earth's surface, these rocks contain fossil fuels. What are the fossil fuels will be accumulated or will be gathered by these shale? Oil and gas in their pores. These two fossil fuels will be containing within these rocks. The fuel is extracted by a technique which is called the hydraulic fracturing. What is the meaning of hydraulic fracturing? Drilling or well boring of sedimentary rocks layers to reach to the productive reservoir layers. Productive means which layer shale is present, which contains the oil and gas. That area the boring should be done and the borehole should reach to that area where this oil and gases are present. That means shale layer, which is called the productive reservoir layer. Now, what are the environmental concerns of shale gas? If we want to get the shale gas, how the environment will be, whether environment will be benefited or will be affected. That is called the environmental concerns of shale gas. Shale drilling could affect the groundwater reservoirs, which can contaminate the drinking water resources and also affect the fertility of the soil. That is the one concern may affect. Number 2, million gallons of water is needed to break and release the shale gas, which in turn can affect the water table also. So these are the environmental concerns of shale gas. 2 marks question. Now in India, what are the places the shale gas reserves are there? India has identified 6 basins as areas for shale gas exploration. Cambay, which is located in Gujarat. Assam, it is called Arakan, northeast, eastern part of our country. Gondwana, that is in central India. Krishna Godavari onshore, that is called east coast. And Kaveri onshore and Indo-Gangetic basins. These are the 6 basins where we can get this shale gas which has been accumulated in the sedimentary rocks. Now next part we are going to discuss about the wind energy. Wind energy is called the kinetic energy. Why? The wind is always moving, so that it's not static condition, moving condition. We can generate the electricity. That's why the wind is also called the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy possessed by wind is due to its high speed, and that can be converted into mechanical power by wind turbines. The wind energy can be uses of wind energy. First one, generating electricity. Number 2, run water pumps, flour mills, and third point is rotatory motion of the windmill is used to draw water from wells. So these are the 3 uses of wind energy. Now the world's largest and tallest wind turbine, where it is located? It is located in Hawaii. How much electricity can be generated from these wind turbines? That is 300 kilowatts. 300 kilowatts electricity can be generated from this windmill. 300 homes can supply the electricity. Now next part we are going to see about the windmill. Windmill is a machine that converts the energy of wind into rotational energy by broad blade attached to the rotational axis. We have seen the windmill in the valley area of different parts in our state in Tamil Nadu, where the windmill is installed to generate the electricity by using the wind energy. When the blowing air strikes the blade of the windmill, it exerts force. Exerts means gives force and causes the blade to rotate. This rotational movement of the blades operate the generator and the electric generator means turbine, and electricity is produced. The energy output from each windmill is combined together to get electricity on a commercial scale, because one windmill will be generating less amount of energy. So many windmills electricity will be coupled together to get large amount of electricity which can run the industry. That means in commercial scale that electricity can be utilized. What are the advantages of this wind energy? First one, wind energy is free, eco-friendly. Free means we can get without any exhaustion. Continuously we can get eco-friendly, renewable sources of energy. It does not cause pollution. And third point, expenses on periodic maintenance is low when compared to that of the other power sources. So these are the advantages of wind energy. The next part we are going to discuss about the water energy. That will be discussed in the next class. Thank you, children.